Begin here at 5 with our first alert weather day. We're already seeing the first rounds of strong storms move through the tri-state.
We sure are, and the worst may still be ahead. A flood watch is in effect for New York City and much of the tri-state, with some areas expected to pick up as much as 5 inches of rain.
Meanwhile, the storms are already making their presence known. This video capturing a lightning strike in Hawthorne, New Jersey, as strong storms move through that area. Earlier today, the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for parts of western New Jersey, as emergency officials urge people to limit travel and avoid flooded roads. We have team coverage on tonight's storms, but let's begin with Lonnie Quinn in our immersive studio with our first alert forecast. Lonnie, a lot going on.
Yeah, there sure is. And, you know, I was listening to Jessica say that, you know, Hawthorne getting hit very hard. Hawthorne was one of the places that got slammed yesterday. Do you realize we're talking two huge events in 24 hours? I mean, no rest for the weary out there. And here's the picture. All right, as you look out over New York City. So there's the Hudson. I can't even show you the GW Bridge, which should be like right about here, but now you can't see anything out there. All right, let's go over and talk about the immediate threat and concern that's out there right now. Anything shaded in blue. All right, we have flash flood warnings. Okay, these are not advisories. These are warnings taking place right now. Look at some of these lines. Wherever you see that flash of red, that is rain that's coming down at 1 to 2 inches per hour, if not possibly 2 to 3 inches per hour. And you betcha, that ground's so saturated in spots from yesterday, and now we're dealing with more of it today. All right, in terms of who's under the warning, so the flash flood warning for Orange, Putnam, Rockland, Westchester, that stays in effect until 7:15 tonight. Flash flood warning for Bergen, Essex, Passaic, Union, that stays in place until tonight at 6:45 p.m. There's going to be more behind this as well. This is not like a one and done sort of setup like it was yesterday. A lot of activity out there. And if I track this leading line right now, all right, which is putting some heavy rain in portions of Westchester, stretching up into Putnam and Dutchess County. It's going to be moving into Fairfield County, so 505 into Stamford. Fairfield, you haven't really tapped into the big stuff yet, although you got a pretty good cell right there on top of New Canaan 1, on top of Ridgefield as well. But this line with more steady rain moves into Norwalk around 520 and into Fairfield around 541. We're going to keep our eye on all of that one for you. Bigger picture is showing you. Look at these rainfall estimates right now. This is radar estimated. You know, you get into portions of Warren County, 4 inches, 4.1, 3.1. You get closer to Bergen County. Flooding, I believe, is going to be the biggest concern. You bet your first alert for today and for tomorrow, because that flooding could just continue. National Weather Service has put the flood watch not just for today. The flood watch is in place until tomorrow evening. Sit tight, everybody. We've got a lot to talk about right now. It's all yours.
Another long night for you, Lonnie. Thank you.
Will be.
And heavy rain has been coming down in North Jersey as well.
Nick Caloway is live in Patterson, where that community has been seeing some flash flooding. Nick.
Yeah, it's been raining pretty hard here in Patterson. You can probably see that. You can probably hear that as well. And as a result, down here, you can see some flash flooding at my feet. This is Getty Street, and this is actually right behind St. Joseph's University Medical Center. The good news is I'm told that the flash flooding here on Getty Street has not impacted getting ambulances in or out of the hospital facility. But down the street, you can see where the danger is. At least 2 vehicles, maybe 3, have been stalled out in the floodwaters. That looks to be at least 2, maybe 3 feet deep at parts. I'm told there were at least 2 water rescues on this street alone, and we're hearing of more and more of those water rescues across North Jersey. This is the area that was impacted a lot by flash flooding just last night, yesterday. Hawthorne, New Jersey was one of the areas that saw a lot of flash flooding. I was just up there talking with residents who were dealing with the flash flooding last night, and now they're bracing for more. Lafayette Avenue in Hawthorne looking more like a river Monday night as a garbage can floated downstream. The water seeping into the basement at Palma's Ice Cream.
Every time a truck would, cross by, it felt like a beach wave coming in. Like every time a beach wave would come in, then that's when all the water would come in.
Flash flooding caused waters to rise so quickly in parts of Passaic and Bergen counties, it caught drivers by surprise. In Hawthorne alone, 17 water rescues were conducted after cars got stuck in floodwaters.
We tried to get around the area, could not get around the area at all. Every street you went to was blocked.
Tatiana Amador's garage took on a couple inches of water. A nearby pedestrian bridge was damaged by the debris moving fast down Goffle Brook. And with the rain falling again, residents are bracing for more.
Was preparing for it all morning this morning. I have some tarps that I put out and just making sure the shop vac's ready to go and towels are ready to go in case I get more than what I got last night.
And sure enough, the flash flooding has returned. It looks like there's a tow truck getting ready to pull these cars out of there, at least two of them, when the water recedes. The water, I dare say, might be receding just a little bit, but the rain is still falling pretty hard here in Patterson, and residents there's a lot of road closures around here too. That's something to pay attention to in Patterson, Hawthorne, across North Jersey. As the flash flooding pops up, it can go really quickly too, but there are a lot of road closures around as the rain continues to fall. We're live in Patterson, New Jersey. Nick Caloway, CBS News, New York.
And those cars behind you show why those road closures are needed. Nick, you mentioned the people there are preparing. I'm wondering, after everything they've been through over these last couple of storms, what are they feeling? Are they nervous about tonight, or what are their emotions like?
Yeah, the feeling I was getting up in Hawthorne was, here we go again, and they were sort of resigned to the fact that it was going to happen again. Before we left Hawthorne about an hour ago, the water was starting to rise right there on the intersection on Lafayette Avenue there in Hawthorne. It was already starting to creep closer to those businesses, probably closer to homes too, as Goffle Brook was starting to rise before we left. I think people are just resigned to the fact that it's going to happen again. You know, maybe it won't be as bad as last night, maybe it will, but it's raining pretty hard here.
Yeah, I can see.
I thought it was going to let up a little bit, and it's just not.
Tough spot to be in for those folks. All right, Nick, thank you.
Yeah.
And Governor Sherrill is also asking people to prepare and take precautions during the storm.
Remember, stay out of any flooding. Stay away from it. Don't attempt to drive through it. Stay away from down power lines. Charge your cell phones and devices to be ready for these storms.
A lot of good advice there. The governor says stay indoors if you can, as heavy rain and thunderstorms could cause flash flooding like we've seen already all over the state.
So now the question is the city ready for another round of torrential rain? Let's go to Andrew Ramos. He's live in the First Alert Weather Tracker on the West Side Highway with more on preparations here. Andrew, what do the roads look like right now?
Well, Jessica, right now, the evening commute is now underway, so we are seeing a lot of cars, a lot of traffic on the roadways. Right now, we are in the Bronx, making our way through Riverdale. You can take a live look at the roads right now. We are on the Henry Hudson Parkway, where the rain seems to be picking up at this hour. For the most part, we're seeing the basic same amount of traffic that you would see at this time of day. I think a lot of people are heeding the warnings, getting on the road early so they could avoid any sort of evening commute mess that we did see yesterday. And then we, of course, got a small sampling of those the flooding that a lot of the roadways saw yesterday with the storms that came in. As we all learned that the storm drains did some major overtime where we did see those roads get flooded in a matter of seconds. Now, ahead of the rain, MTA crews have been inspecting drains in flood-prone areas. We're told the specialists that handle subway elevators and escalators are also being deployed to deal with any weather-related issues in the subway. Now, OEM Commissioner Farrell spoke to us earlier on how the city is prepared to tackle everything from trapped drivers, flooded subways, and down trees.
We do have the down tree task force on alert. It's been on alert a lot over the last several weeks, but that is spearheaded by parks, but emergency management, also police department, fire department, other agencies, so they can work quickly. Con Ed is also a part of that because down trees can also mean down power lines, hopefully not, but we would like to avoid that. So that's why we're here and why we have everybody on these open lines, everybody working in this room with us so we can activate and get to those situations as quickly as possible.
And here's another live look here along the Henry Hudson Parkway. We have the beautiful George Washington Bridge before us, and a lot of people obviously on the roads at this hour trying to make that trek home before it gets worse. Now, another thing to mention, the city is also opening 51 safe overnight locations in New York City public schools. Now, those locations open at 8 p.m. tonight. Now, anyone who's looking to find one of those locations, you're urged to call 311. That's the latest from here, live on the roads in the Bronx. Andrew Ramos, CBS News, New York.
Andrew, thank you. And today's Mets-Braves game at Citi Field has been rained out. The game will be made up as a split doubleheader on Wednesday. First pitches set for 1:10 and 7:10 p.m. Tickets from today's game will be honored for tomorrow night's matchup.
Stay with CBS News New York for the very latest as the storms move through our area. For updates and a live look at the radar anytime, just head over to cbsnewyork.com. And don't forget, we want to see what's happening in your area. So send us your photos and videos as you get them by scanning that QR code right there on your screen.